People pay hundreds of dollars yearly for gym memberships to use a machine that was once considered one of the cruelest forms of punishment in human history. This is the story of the treadmill. Picture Britain in 1817. The Industrial Revolution is transforming society. Factories churn day and night. The Victorian era obsesses over productivity, moral reform, and the idea that hard work redeems the soul. Inside British prisons, a problem festers. Prisoners sit idle in their cells. No work, no purpose. Prison officials worry that idleness breeds more crime. Enter William Cubitt, a 32-year-old British engineer from a family of millwrights. Walking through a prison one day, Cubitt observes convicts lounging around with nothing to do. An idea strikes him. What if he could create a machine that would occupy prisoners endlessly, exhaust them completely, and achieve absolutely nothing? In 1818, Cubitt unveiled his invention, the penal treadmill, also called the treadmill or everlasting staircase. The design was brutally simple: a massive wooden cylinder, 6 feet in diameter, wrapped with cast-iron wheels. Wooden steps jutted out every 7.5 inches around the exterior. When a prisoner stepped onto one of these steps, his weight pushed it downward, rotating the entire wheel. To avoid falling, he had to keep climbing upward, stepping onto the next step above. But the wheel never stopped turning. It was an endless staircase that went nowhere. Each treadmill held 18 to 25 prisoners at once, separated by wooden partitions. They couldn't see each other. They couldn't speak. They stared only at the blank wall directly in front of them. Cubitt installed the first treadmills at prisons in Bury St Edmunds and Brixton. He believed his machine would reform offenders by teaching them habits of industry. But here's the twisted genius of Cubitt's design. The treadmill was connected to nothing. It didn't grind grain. It didn't pump water. It literally ground the wind, using a system of straps and weights for resistance. The work was intentionally meaningless. That was the punishment. Prison officials loved Cubitt's invention. Within years, 44 prisons across England installed penal treadmills. In 1822, the United States adopted the device, installing one at Bellevue Hospital in New York City for $3,000. But American prisons quickly abandoned it. Only 4 U.S. facilities ever used treadmills. By 1865, the British Prison Act made treadmill labor mandatory. Every male prisoner over 16, sentenced to hard labor, spent at least 3 months climbing the everlasting staircase. The routine was brutal: 6 hours daily, minimum. Prisoners climbed for 15 minutes straight, then got a 5-minute break. Then back on the wheel. Do the math. 6 hours of climbing translated to scaling between 10,000 and 14,000 vertical feet every single day. That's like climbing halfway up Mount Everest daily. At Warwick Jail during one hot summer, prisoners walked 17,000 vertical feet over 10 hours. Victorian society embraced the treadmill as revolutionary prison reform. An 1875 publication praised it for bringing a great improvement in prison discipline. The Society for the Improvement of Prison Discipline called the treadmill a preventative punishment, believing no one who experienced it would ever commit another crime. But the reality was horrifying. Prisoners at Brixton routinely burned over 2,000 calories during their daily treadmill work. Hard labor rations couldn't replenish that energy. The sick list at Brixton often ran into the 20s. Men collapsed, some died. The most famous victim was writer Oscar Wilde. Sentenced to hard labor in 1895 for homosexuality, Wilde walked the treadmill at Pentonville Prison. It nearly killed him. He left prison in 1897, his health destroyed. 2 years later, at age 46, Oscar Wilde was dead. Eventually, some prisons realized they could repurpose the wasted energy. They connected treadmills to water pumps and grain mills, making prisoners work for society's benefit. Brixton Prison's treadmill, one of the largest ground corn, using underground machinery. Up to 24 prisoners worked in shifts, walking in silence from left to right. You got 12 minutes of rest for every 60 minutes you climbed. In 1902, the British government abolished penal treadmills. The machine that symbolized Victorian punishment vanished from prisons. But the treadmill wasn't gone. It was waiting for reinvention. During the 20th century fitness revolution, engineers reimagined the treadmill. Out went the wooden cylinders and punishment philosophy. In came electric motors, rubber belts, and ergonomic designs. The new treadmill promised convenience and safety. You could exercise indoors, control your speed, track your distance, and never worry about weather or traffic. By the 21st century, the treadmill became one of the most popular and best-selling pieces of exercise equipment in the world. Today's treadmills feature digital displays, built-in entertainment, virtual reality landscapes, and personalized training programs. They cost hundreds or thousands of dollars. Gym memberships run $100 monthly or more. Here's the beautiful irony. We now pay eagerly for the privilege of using a device that once killed prisoners. We voluntarily climb the everlasting staircase, burning calories Victorian prisoners couldn't afford to lose, staring at screens instead of prison walls. Academic Vibar Cregan Reid calls the Victorian treadmill the perfect punishment. Literally pointless work that exhausted the body and numbed the mind. The modern version is somehow both completely different and eerily the same. The treadmill's transformation reveals something fascinating about human nature. Context changes everything. The same mechanical action, endless walking, going nowhere, shifted from torture to self-improvement based purely on choice and purpose. Today, millions use treadmills to improve their health, lose weight, and relieve stress. The machine that once symbolized pointless suffering now represents personal empowerment. Though some experts argue we're missing out. Running outdoors offers neurological and mental health benefits that staring at a gym mirror never will. If this story surprised you, hit that subscribe button. We explore the hidden histories of everyday objects you never knew had such dark pasts. Next up, discover how the guillotine became a symbol of justice, or learn about the shocking origins of the rocking chair. Thanks for climbing this historical staircase with us. See you in the next video.